It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. The family of Newcastle Rugby League player Joel Dark will gather for his funeral in Taree today. The 19-year-old was making his first grade debut for Central Newcastle on September 6 when he collapsed after a head knock. Joel is the cousin of Kangaroos captain Boyd Cordner, who was released by the Roosters to be by his bedside in the days before he died. Joel's family is abiding by current funeral restrictions. However, the funeral service will be live streamed. The results of a new survey shows there's only lukewarm support for the federal government's plan to build a gas-fired power station in the Hunter if the energy industry doesn't. The YouGov survey of 1,000 people found only 14% in favour of using taxpayers' money for the plan. The survey found 74% of respondents would rather have funding prioritised for the health sector, while 41% preferred investment in renewable energy. As Hunter students face the unprecedented pressure of COVID-19, the Newcastle Teachers Federation is calling on the state government to increase the number of school counsellors. The government is committed to training 328 people to join the school counselling workforce across New South Wales over the next 3 years. However, the Federation says this is simply not enough. The union's Jack Galvin-White says the current ratio at New South Wales schools, which was recommended more than 20 years ago, sits at one counsellor to every 500 students.
Student welfare is a priority for teachers and principals, and the totally inadequate school counsellor to student ratio just puts children at risk. 1 to 500 is well overdue. The recommendation was almost 20 years ago and we're still waiting. Enough is enough. Our students in the Hunter need this assistance.
Investigations are continuing into a suspicious fire which gutted the cab of a Pantech truck at Bennett's Green early this morning. Firefighters from Tingera Heights were called to Groves Road just before 5 a.m. to find the truck parked by the side of the road on fire. They quickly doused the flames before handing the scene over to police. A man who had his arm blown off in a beer keg explosion at the Bar Beach Bowling Club almost 6 years ago has reached an out-of-court settlement. Jai Parker took legal action against the club and Carlton and United Breweries over the incident in 2017, reaching a $100,000 out-of-court settlement with the brewing company for costs last year. However, he still sought $2.7 million in damages from the club. The case was due to head to the Supreme Court yesterday, but the parties reached an undisclosed settlement in favour of Mr Parker. With the highest rate of preventable hospitalisations in regional and rural areas, Hunter residents living outside the city are being urged to have their say on their healthcare. A parliamentary inquiry is currently underway into the healthcare system in more remote areas, with local residents and healthcare staff encouraged to make a submission. Shadow Health Minister Ryan Park says the inquiry will investigate funding, staffing shortages and cultural issues, and hopes it will disrupt a culture among employees of staying quiet.
Submissions have to be made by the middle of December. Once they're collated, we'll then start some public inquiries early into the new year, and people just need to get onto the New South Wales Parliament website, track down the committee, and then you can make a submission directly that way.
2NURFM Sport.
Newcastle Knights hooker Chris Randall is hopeful of playing a part in the Knights' first finals campaign since 2013. Coach Adam O'Brien will choose between Randall and the returning Kurt Mann for this weekend's match against the Titans. Newcastle Jets management will meet with the club's senior players in the hope of brokering a deal for the new A-League season after players voted to reject a proposed pay cut of 30% for the upcoming season. Maitland Pickers coach Matt Lantry has praised prop Jaden Butterfield for his efforts in last weekend's win against the Hills District Bulls. The Pickers will face Glebe Burwood this weekend in a bid to win the State President's Cup title. Newcastle Jockey Chairman Jeff Barnett has hopes the New South Wales Government will continue to ease restrictions in time for the Hunter race meet on November 14, following a successful spring carnival. And in greyhound racing, Richmond Vale trainer Jason Mackay has had both his heat runners qualify for the $1 Million Chase. And the winning numbers in Monday Lotto are 22, 35, 18, 1, 4 and 8. And the supplementaries are 14 and 38. 2NURFM News Time, 25 to 9.